Welcome to my Spotlight podcast, where we explore more about agriculture. How does the agriculture do this, do that? And today I have a topic on food in the soil, the food of soil, I can say. So I brought you a guest who is going to mention his name by himself. So let's give him a room.
Yeah, I am known as Smart, a farmer. Yeah,
You are a farmer.
yeah.
Okay, that's why you are here. Yeah. Okay, I want to know more about the fertilizer.
Oh,
Yeah, so the first question is how does the fertilizer affect the crops? Does the fertilizer affect the crop?
yes, fertilizer affect the crops both in a negative and positive way. But mostly we look into the positive way because when we apply fertilizer to our crops,
Yes.
we expect good things from our crops. So fertilizer affect our crops in a positive way in the sense that if our crops are
Doing better.
yeah, in the same farming and when you plant crops without applying fertilizer, you are getting few yields. Then you are applying fertilizer into your farming and then you are getting much yields than before.
Just because of you applied fertilizer.
Yeah. So fertilizer affects our crops in such a way that it made our crops produce more yields than before.
Okay. What about affecting crops in a negative way? Does fertilizer affect crops in a negative way? Or it's only positive?
No, it's not only positive,
Yes.
it's also negative. But as I have already said, that the aim of applying fertilizer into our crops is to make sure our crops are affected positively.
Yeah.
But if we don't follow the
Instructions,
routines,
Maybe I heard that when you apply the mulch fertilizer
yeah,
at a single hole for maybe crop,
yes.
that crop might be bent.
Yeah, it may wilt. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. So, fertilizer affect crops in a negative way in the sense that when you didn't follow the guidelines, they may damage your
Yes.
crops.
Yes.
Whether be it the yields or the growth of the plant before start producing the crops.
Oh, it can reach to the point that the yields can be wilt.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
It's too dangerous. Fertilizer is dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Even to our head.
Yes, because I remember last time I planted maize and I was applying fertilizer, so I didn't have much knowledge on how to apply fertilizer. So
We just did it anyway.
I was putting much fertilizer in normal
Yes.
plants. So
Yeah.
all the plants wilt.
Oh.
Yeah,
What
it
else?
was so it was a great news.
Great
buying,
Yeah.
buying
The CC, the fertilizer itself.
you see,
Yeah,
clear on the run,
labor, whatever.
labor, so it was a great loss.
Oh.
So I can say fertilizer affect crops
The
both
crops.
in negative and positive way.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question. How does the production of fertilizer affect soil? Because I heard that our parents tell us that before the introduction of fertilizer, people were just doing farming, they're just planting crops without fertilizer. So how about the introduction of fertilizer? Does fertilizer affect the soil?
Yes. Fertilizer affects the soil both as before
Yeah.
in a negative and positive way.
Yes.
Because when we use fertilizer in our soils that we are not using fertilizer before for growing crops, for a long period of time,
Yes.
the soil may be damaged
Yeah.
in a sense that fertilizer are made of chemicals.
Yeah, chemicals, different chemicals.
When you apply the chemicals in the soil, this year, next year,
Yeah,
the
the
other
other
year,
year,
the soil is
become like adapted itself.
So I can see fertilizer also affects the production of fertilizer affects also because the chemicals that are remaining in the
soil.
they damage the soil particles.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that means for a person who is doing his farming, like a person who rely on fertilizer, and a person, a farmer who just plant crops without a fertilizer. How can you differentiate these two farmers?
A person who uses fertilizer
And the other who doesn't use a fertilizer.
Okay. I want to differentiate them in the sense that the one using a fertilizer in his or her farmyard is likely to have more yields or better crops when it comes at the harvesting season. When he or she considers about proper farming practices,
Yes.
applying fertilizer, like following the guidelines, so I can differentiate them.
Okay, you mean what matters is applying like using fertilizer according to the guidelines.
Yeah. So if I would like to take you back to the point that fertilizer destroys the soil and degrades the soil. That point is not just that fertilizer degrades the soil in any ways. It's a matter of you not following guidelines for using fertilizer. Because when you follow some principles of using fertilizer,
It doesn't affect your crops. Or
they will tell you that if you you have used this kind of fertilizer in your farmyard for this kind of period, you can give rest to your farmyard so that it regains, the soil regains. So in that way, the soil can be affected.
Okay, if we get you well, you are saying that if the farmer uses this year fertilizer and the next year doesn't use the fertilizer, doing so, is that so helpful?
If you got me well at the beginning, I say that if a farmer uses this year fertilizer, next year fertilizer, another year fertilizer, for a long period of time, that may destroy the soil. But if the farmer uses this year fertilizer, next year fertilizer on the same farmyard, and then the other year don't use fertilizer, the soil may be okay.
Because the farmer gives the room to the soil also that it can be returned to the chemicals.
Natural reaction increase.
All right. For those who just find us, this is Spotlight Podcast, and I'm with my guest here, who happens to be our farmer today, on the topic food of the soil. Well, we'll be right back. Welcome back. As I said earlier, that we have a guest here, a farmer, who is talking more about food of the soil, which happens to be fertilizer. So let's go to the other question, which is there any other option or a substance to be substituted? Okay, like if a farmer doesn't want to use a fertilizer, what's the other substance or which him or her can use?
Okay, if I understand you well, right there you have two questions. Number one question is that is there other alternatives? If yes, what are those alternatives?
Yes.
So I will start with the first question. Yes, there are other substitutes to fertilizers that are made from companies. We can use raw materials, for example, ashes.
Okay.
Yeah, we combine ashes and human urine.
Yeah, urine, no?
Yeah, and human urine, we combine and process it, keep it for some time,
What?
When it's done,
Mm.
it's a complete organic fertilizer. Organic fertilizer is like from natural materials, like human waste, whatever.
Also, there is two types of organic fertilizers.
Yeah.
I mean, two types of fertilizers, organic and inorganic, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
So using that kind of fertilizer is so helpful. So now I'm answering the second question.
Yes.
What's the substitute that can be used? So it's the organic fertilizer that I'm talking about, mixing ashes and human urine.
Even feces.
Yeah. Or even feces from chicken.
Pigs.
People.
Cows.
Yeah. So despite using fertilizer from companies or organic fertilizers, you can also use local materials to produce organic fertilizers.
Oh.
Yeah.
And even some trash from the bins.
Yes.
Can be used as a fertilizer.
Yes. 100%.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's so powerful at some time, maybe more than using fertilizer from companies.
Okay, so you mean organic fertilizer is the one from companies, and the inorganic fertilizer is, we can say, manure.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I understand that having some confusion.
Yeah.
So when we say organic fertilizer,
Yes.
we use local materials or organic like from biology term.
Yes.
We use like human feces, So when
That's
it comes
organic.
that's organic. When it comes to inorganic, these are fertilizers that are made from companies. For example, urea, NPK. They process them in companies.
Yeah.
Pack them in bags, and then they sell them out.
Oh.
While organic, they are made locally.
Local. Like use of local materials.
materials in short terms.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. The other question, how to manage the soil if it has been damaged by inorganic fertilizer?
Okay. The first step to manage the soil to make sure it retains its fertility when it has been damaged by inorganic fertilizers is to give space for the soil to rest. So when you give some space to the soil,
Without applying
any fertilizer, and then after some time you can start applying organic fertilizers because those are natural materials. So natural materials, they have less effect to the soil. So after you give the room to the soil, you can apply the organic fertilizer and you can gain this fertility. Then you can start planting your crops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the only way to manage the soil damage? Or
there are many ways, but the major one, that's the major one. Because if you are giving, you are managing your soil to make sure it retains this fertility because of the effect, the negative effect that was there after using inorganic fertilizers. It simply means that the next step you're gonna take after your soil has retained this fertility is that you're gonna no longer use inorganic fertilizers. It simply means that you're gonna use now organic fertilizers because inorganic fertilizers have damaged the soil before, so you can't go back to inorganic fertilizers.
Yeah, you need to change.
Yeah, so that's the best way. But there are other ways.
Okay, so can you just mention the other ways? Tell the subscribers, the ones that are watching, they want to know some other ways to manage the soil damage. Yes.
Okay. Other ways that can help to manage the soil when it's damaged is by planting certain crops. For example, if the soil has turned into salinity,
Yes, I know.
It's too salty.
Yeah.
There are certain weeds that you can plant. For example, I'll give an example of leads. You ever heard of leads before?
I've never heard.
They are mostly planted abroad.
Abroad, eh?
Yeah, in countries.
Like in international level.
Yeah, in countries that grow like plants like cocoa.
Oh.
Yeah. So before they plant such kind of plants, for example, I'll give an example of Israel.
Israel, yeah.
The soil of Israel is too salty. So they desalinate the soil.
Yes.
So the systems they use to desalinate their soils, one of it is by planting the leads. Leads are plants.
Yeah.
Those plants, they absorb the soil materials in the soil.
Are they just plants, like random plants?
Yeah.
Are they beneficial to the humans, or they just plant it just because to
I can say they are not that beneficial to the humans. Maybe they are food and some animals. I don't know.
Okay, but many purpose.
Yeah. But also I can say they are beneficial because if they are helping to desalinate the soil, it's beneficial to the humans, because when the soil has been desalinated, it's now neutral. It has good fertility. It means humans will now plant their crops and be able to grow more yields.
Okay. Which means its main purpose is to desalinate the soil.
Yeah.
The leaves.
Yeah. That's the main purpose of leaves. So the other method of making sure your soil is managed well to retain its fertility after being damaged by the organic fertilizers is by planting leaves. Yeah. And I understand that there are also technological ways, like applying some chemicals.
Spraying.
Yeah, spraying. But the major one is the one I have discussed about giving room.
Give a room to the soil so that it can return.
Yeah, and then apply organic materials.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. You are watching Spotlight Podcast, and I'm here with my guest here on the Smart, our farmer, discussing about food to the soil. So let's go to the other question. Can the fertilizer pollute the soil?
Yes, obviously. Fertilizer pollute the soil, and that's the main reason why we were discussing about soil being damaged or being affected in a negative way by the fertilizer. It's because the fertilizer pollutes the soil. Yeah, so it releases some chemicals, some gases,
overreacting.
Yeah, those gases, when they are not much large, when they are not more in the soil, they are so helpful. That's why fertilizers contain such kind of gases, such kind of chemicals. But then when they are accumulated in the soil, they now pollute the soil, and then leading it to be affected negatively, whether be stop producing good yields.
Okay. What about the fertilizer? Can it affect the use? They use themselves in according to. Okay, let me explain for you to understand. The use of fertilizer, a farmer has been used the fertilizer to maybe to produce or to grow vegetables or maize. Does that crops affect our health, like because of fertilizer?
Yeah, of course I can say so. But the answer is gonna be incomplete. According to my view,
according to your point of view,
yes. But it will then require some healthy explanation.
So you just explain it on the surface.
Okay.
Yeah, don't go deep.
On the surface,
Yes.
Number one, we will look at food poisoning.
Yeah.
Fertilizer cause food poisoning in a sense that you have seen eating some vegetables.
Yeah.
And then
Find that you are making diarrhea.
Yeah. And some they are not like the flavor is not like the way
It was supposed to be.
They are not even sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. There is a feeling of some sort of stuff.
Sour.
Yeah, sour, yes. So that's poisoning of crops. So when our crops have been poisoned by fertilizer, what if then humans eat such poisoned crops or plants or even food? Because those crops, they tend to be food. When we cook them or process them, we eat them. It simply means that they will poison us too. That's why most of us right now these days we are experiencing diarrhea, some unknown diseases. Undescribable. Yeah.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
It's just because of the food we eat.
The food we eat
From the farm.
Yeah. But as I have already said, there might be a number of explanations concerning this issue. But if we then require some personnel. Yeah. But yes, I can agree that fertilizers, they can affect our health because they poison the crops. Those crops are the food that we eat each and every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now it brings some problems.
It brings some problems,
Alright.
Yeah.
This must be the end of our topic today here on the Spotlight podcast. Until we meet again, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Bye bye.